Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode. Today, I'm joined with my buddy Brandon here. We are going to be talking about a lot of things. Primarily, we're going to talk about Coheed and Cambria. I'm wearing my garb today.
Yeah, I know.
Wearing my band shirt that we got at the concert we saw together.
I'm really glad I didn't wear mine because that would have just been real awkward.
How dare we both rep the band that we're about to be talking about today.
But it's the same shirt.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot.
the exact same one.
So we are talking about Coheed and Cambria. They just came out with a brand new album recently. We'll talk about that one, but I think among other things, we'll just kind of talk about, I don't know, we'll just talk about the band.
Yeah.
You know, our favorite albums, you know, songs and things like that. If you're new here to this show, this is kind of my outlet for just talking about things that I think are interesting. And so until I can get Claudio Sanchez on the show, the best next guy is Brandon.
Yeah. I work so closely with the band. Like
You basically are Mr. Emory Wars himself.
Yeah.
So. They put out a brand new album recently. It is the third album in their, what do you call a 5 album? A pentology of upcoming albums. It kind of takes place after the canon events of the Emory Wars. And it's also very disconnected. This is a concept band for people who aren't fans of them, who don't know anything about this band. But I think what has drawn Brandon and I to this band is the fact that they are creating more than just the music. They have a whole plot with all of this stuff. They write novellas and comic books that go along with their music, and even like side project bands. Like, what is the other one that he has?
It's the Prizefighter Inferno.
Yes, yeah, and that's kind of from the perspective of another character in this.
That's within the
whole story. You know, so cool. So if you're not already a fan, I hope that you guys will go and listen to their whole discography. But we'll talk about their newest album. What is it called?
It's called
forgot the name of the album.
The Father of Make Believe.
The Father of Make Believe. Yeah. This is album 3, right, of a planned 5 album series. So yeah, that's really what we're talking about today. So far, just in general, production value wise, kind of concept wise, how have you enjoyed these 3 albums that have come out?
For me, I have really enjoyed this this story, mainly just because like I'm still relatively new to like the Coheed and Cambria scene. Like the first album that I heard by them was
Unheavenly Creatures.
Unheavenly Creatures, yeah. And you're actually the one that introduced me to them. Like obviously, you know, I'd heard Welcome Home before and Favor House Atlantic.
Sure.
Like
the big hitters.
Yeah, like everybody has heard this, especially if you played Guitar Hero 2. Like you know them. So like these ones, it holds a special place in my heart just because it's how I was introduced to them. And honestly, the fact that the third album has already been released makes me a little sad because I'm just like, damn, it's almost over already. Like we only got 2 more albums. Like I remember when I was listening to the Unheavenly Creatures, I was like, 5 albums? That's so many. That's like almost like over half of what they already have. Like that's crazy. And now we're already almost through it.
Yeah. Well, and the length between album 1 and album 2
was crazy.
It kind of gave me that feeling of, okay, well, we can really kind of marinate in each album for a good while. But then the distance between album 2 and album 3
it felt like it was so instant. Yeah, it was only what, 2 years? When did album 2 come out? That was
That was like 2023 or 2022?
Yeah, it was somewhere around that time. Oh, no, it would have had to have been 22.
So it's been about 3 years.
Yeah, because I remember driving to my job, listening to it at 3:00 in the morning.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was a big deal because it had also, prior to that, it had really been, I guess, 5 years since the first one.
Yeah.
Because what was it, 2017, 2018 or something like
2018
that? 2018.
That it came out.
So 4 or 5 year period between albums. And for a long time, you know, I mean, they had a Favor House Atlantic. Or no, sorry, not a Favor House Atlantic. Color Before the Sun.
Yes, yeah.
I think of the house in that, in the album art of that one, so I thought Favor House Atlantic, but that was their kind of break album in between these like stories, right?
Yeah. And I know a lot of people hated that because it like wasn't part of the concept. I think so. According to my Spotify stats, that's my most listened to album by them.
Oh yeah,
which I don't necessarily believe that, but I could see it because it is like I do really enjoy that album. I entirely disagree with people who are upset at the fact that it exists.
You know, it's like people come to Coheed and Cambria, I think, for different reasons, right?
Yeah, for sure.
For a lot of people, I think they do come to Coheed and Cambria specifically for the concept.
Yeah.
I personally, I think I find myself in that camp more often than I want to admit. There are tons of songs of theirs that just, if I'm just listening to it in the background, I can throw an album on shuffle. I don't need to be listening to the story in chronological order in order to appreciate what's going on. I love their music, but I think that there are a lot of people who, man, if you're not coming out with an album that is further pushing this narrative, I'm not in for it. And that's I think that's why that album is going to sit very low on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, having like read the comics for at least the first 3 albums, like, to me, it feels like a lot of the songs aren't necessarily in chronological order anyway in the events that they happen. So like, I mean, I think it's good enough that, like, yeah, you can tell the narrative through the music more loosely, or less, like very, very loosely.
It's going to be hard for you to open up the comic book and listen to the album the comic book is based on or whatever, vice versa, and like just follow it like you're listening to an audiobook. It's not like that.
Yeah, no, not at all. But like, so like, yeah, it is like more or less in order, but there are things that like callbacks in songs that you hear later that happen earlier in the story. And it's just, I think Coheed is definitely one of those albums that you can put on shuffle and like still
any one of them, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess just in talking about the father of make believe, how have you liked this album over the other two? Because I think me and you can kind of both agree, like, I think this is the best that they've put forward.
I think so. Yeah. I was actually pretty scared about this album.
From the singles?
Yes.
Okay.
From the singles because like don't get me wrong, the singles were all good, but I thought that like Searching for Tomorrow, I grew on. I didn't really think too highly of it at first. Like I knew it was a good song, but I was just kind of like,
for me, it was like the just that arpeggio that he does in the very beginning. Or not an arpeggio. What's the term I'm looking for? He's like walking up. It feels like a carnival ride. I don't know. It's so interesting. And the more that I listen to it, I'm like, I will learn this song on guitar.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's grown on me a lot as well.
But the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, okay, this is, I can see this is a Coheed song.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, but like it's not one of my favorites. I've come around to it more, like the chorus is just really good. I didn't necessarily give it the chorus the attention it deserves because I was like so focused on that sort of thing. And then what was the other one? Blindside Sunny. I think Blindside Sunny is, again, still a good song, and I enjoy the song, but it, in my opinion, is the weakest on the album.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's it goes for a more, like, it's going for more like a punk style. It's
a lot harder, and I don't know, just the singing style of it being like not quite screamy, but not really like singing. It's just kind of like talking angrily, which I get. Like I understand that's the character, right? Like, and I don't.
That's the other thing too. When you think about the songs, like, in one sense, you might dislike it, but then as you learn about what the song is and where it kind of fits in the story, you start liking it for a different reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's how I felt with Second Stage. Like the whole time, like the whole album, I was like, yeah, this is good. But like if I'm gonna put on Coheed, I'm gonna put on a different album. Yeah. And then I like read the books and I was like, oh, I get this now. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, I think for me personally, the singles on this album, I listened to the least out of the other two albums. Whenever they would release singles, I listened to them until I basically got tired of them.
Yeah. The other ones were so good.
And I think that has increased my enjoyment of not only the singles as they fit in the album, but just the album as a whole. I don't know. I wanted that break for a little while. I wanted to just kind of chill out until the album was out and just judge it as like its own package. Yeah. And I think because I didn't listen too hard to those singles, I really enjoyed the album a lot.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like I expected, what is it? those two singles that they released before even the Father of Make Believe singles. What was it? The Joke and Deranged.
Yeah. Well, one of the, I think it was Deranged. That one was in Batman, Arkham City.
Oh, okay.
They wrote that song for the video game
years
ago.
I didn't realize.
And then they just kind of re-released it, like along with the Joke. I don't know. I guess that was kind of just to have more of like a thematic package of songs.
Yeah.
To go with the Joke, right? Like, I don't know. I thought that it was just so interesting that they would release. Like it's essentially a re-release of an old song that you can still listen to on Spotify. If you go to the Batman Arkham City soundtrack, I think on Spotify, you can hear that Coheed and Cambria song. I remember the first time I heard it, it was I don't know, maybe 2019, 2018.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is this? Is a Batman song? They wrote a Batman song?
Yeah.
It's for Batman.
Okay. You know what? That makes me feel a lot better. I thought that it was going to be part of the album. And I was just like, this just doesn't, I don't feel weird. Yeah.
It's literally a Joker song.
It's and you know what? Batman. That makes so much more sense.
It's like, what is this weird? What is the concept here? It was not their own. It's Batman.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, but no, like when they release Someone Who Can, I immediately, like, that drew me back. Like, I love that song. And I expect, like, given the other, like, my not so strong feelings towards the other two, I was like, okay, well, I hope this isn't the best song in the album.
Yeah.
And it's not. Like, not even close. Mm-hmm. Like, it's honestly at a point where I almost forget that song exists.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. And I don't necessarily want to go through like song by song and talk about each one. But man, that opening, especially with the theme song more so tightly being connected to that of the Emory Wars prologue theme song, but very specifically tied to Afterman.
Yes.
That was big for me because Afterman, Ascension. Well, so my buddy Chris, he introduced me to Coheed and Cambria with just a couple of different songs. It was like, first it was, I'm blanking on the name of it. It's right before Welcome Home in Good Apollo Volume 1. It's like the beauty
Always
is
and
the
Never.
child's good. Yes, Always and Never. So that was the first one he played for me. And then the juxtaposition of feelings between that song going into Welcome Home baffled me. And then after that one, he played for me the intro to the Afterman Ascension going into Domino the Destitute. Yeah. So those were like the first like 4 songs that I like really listened to get me acclimated to what this band is. And I think that's kind of what made me like fall in love with this idea of the concept, right? Was because like especially Afterman is super concept heavy. So I really, really latched on to Afterman Ascension. And all of the Afterman references in this album are insane.
It's so good.
But jumping into that first song where you're hearing da 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 da, and then going into that really beautiful acoustic piece. Yeah. This is something that's big for me because my wife is not the biggest Coheed and Cambria fan in the world, but she likes some of their music. A lot of what I have shown her, she does like. However, whenever a song like that comes on, that really does pique her interest. She's not as into the more like harsh stuff, the like screaming, like some of the concept stuff is cool to her. But she didn't really grow up listening to a lot of the early 2000s emo music that me and you would have listened to as well. So whenever she hears your eyes tell the story, she's like, okay. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is beautiful. But that first song is just, it's just so beautiful. That one, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but there's, I think Coheed and Cambria just does a really great job whenever they do write kind of like these ballad type songs that are a lot more soft. Nicole really likes those. Nicole's my wife. I don't know if I had mentioned that, but my daughter's here. Yep, Brandon's still here.
What's up, Rosie? You wanna come say hi?
I didn't. Hi.
Hey, how do you feel about Coheed and Cambria?
Come here. I don't know.
You don't know? What?
Do you listen?
I can't hear myself.
Do you listen to Coheed and Cambria?
No.
Okay, that's all right. You do actually, but you just don't know it. All right, well.
I know.
Okay, I know. All right, well. That was Rosie. Ladies and gentlemen, Rosie.
Yep, she's so sweet.
Anyways, my wife likes those more acoustic driven songs. And I think those songs, like that intro song and Do you know the other one that I'm talking about? The name of it?
The other acoustic one.
Yeah,
it's "Corner My Confidence."
That song is so good.
I love that song.
I think this album really has, especially in that section of the Coheed and Cambria like discography, that where it goes to more softer lengths like that. I think this is really some of the best stuff that they have.
No, I agree, and I think Claudio is just really, really good at writing stuff like that. Because even with his Prizefighter Inferno stuff, like his melodies are insane, and also like he's doing it all while singing, and it's just it's insane. Like "Stay Where You Are," it's a Prizefighter Inferno song. It's probably one of my favorite songs of all time.
Okay.
Like it's so good. Like
Nice.
it's so beautiful.
I think the fandom is fairly split on like Prizefighter Inferno stuff, just because I think Claudio is personally, I think he is best in a group dynamic. I think his ideas are really good, but some of the things that I personally have heard of him just like doing on his own, I'm not the biggest fan of. And I know even you said the first time you listened through the new Prizefighter stuff, or the newest one that came out, it took you a little bit to get acclimated.
Well, so that's kind of my thing. Like overall, like I don't usually listen to Prizefighter. He has some certain songs that I really enjoy, but like generally with me, I'm pretty bad about like, even if I'm listening to an album from a band that I know that I love, right? Like even with Coheed, whenever I was going through their stuff, I don't always like all of it at first. Like it's pretty rare that I'll listen to a song and be like, oh, okay, I immediately like fuck with this heavy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like, I listen to it a couple of times, I pick up on something and I'm just like, wait, I love that part. And then as I listen to it, I'm just like, wait, all of this in context is even better. And that's not just Coheed, that's just like across the board.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are typically, if they're not fans of the artist, they're fans of like the songs. So they might end up buying an album because of the singles that they have put out. But in a case like this, like we become so big on Coheed and Cambria, even if we're not listening to the singles, like we're just gonna buy the album.
Yeah, for sure.
And even if it's not great, like even for me, Year of the Black Rainbow, I still think that it is their weakest one, but I like it now maybe like 15 times more than I did the first time that I listened to it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree entirely. Yeah, it took me a long time to like give Year of the Black Rainbow the
give it a chance.
Give it the chance.
We have another guest. Give me 1 second. Kids, man.
Yeah, kids. They're the sweetest.
Yeah, I think this album really has been so interesting. Something that me and you were talking about just when we were texting each other, like right whenever the album came out, you were kind of telling me about how much you've appreciated how this album has sort of had this, I don't know, there's a very uplifting hope throughout the entire thing. Like it feels like the whole time we're going through this album, we're at a high point.
Yeah.
Just emotionally speaking in this series, I guess. Which is interesting because I feel like Coheed's really good at making all of those emotions like stick out, whether it be like we're at a low point in the series or like a high point. I've loved everything that we've done so far. And I think so much of it now, like if we take a look back at the old discography, like old Emory War stuff, trying to think of the one song where he's talking about like smashing his wife's face in the door. The final cut. Yeah. So much of his music is brought about through personal experience, whether it be the relationships that he has with his friends or with his, fiance at the time, now wife, that sort of stuff. It's all just kind of in his personal life stuff that he draws the story. But now he's a dad. And now he's got kids, and we started to see that shift in Color Before the Sun. That was him kind of exploring this idea of a new venture that he is in life right now. He's had this experience of having a successful band. Now he's got a son, and that's kind of what the concept, if you will, of that album is. And I think now we are at a point where he is now able to have even more nuanced experiences as a father, where now the main character, Vaxis, is based off of his son in real life. And it's just very interesting the way that he's kind of like bringing him up and down through these like really strange mental prisons that he's like locked in. So interesting. I don't know. Do you have any sort of like, I I don't have the book yet that this one is based off of, but do you have kind of any feelings on like the concept of this album?
Not quite yet.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I haven't read through the last one yet.
Yeah.
So I don't even really know what's happening with that one.
I don't even think they do. I don't even think Coheed knows.
All I know is that like I'm fairly certain Vaxis, while he was a obviously the focal point of the last one, I don't think that he was like even around for most of it, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, especially that first album, it's all about the parents.
Yeah. The first album, he's not even like he's not even
besides the
conceived
like
yet.
Prologue, where he
introduces
future voice or whatever.
Yeah, that it like the first one is like the prequel, right? And then this one, I'm fairly certain he spent a lot of time like not completely there, and it's his parents trying to figure things out. But like this one, I feel like he's here, he's fully present.
Yeah.
And this is like, this is his story.
Is his
now.
moment. Yeah.
Like,
I think from here on out, it's whatever happens to him next.
Yeah.
And less so about his parents and stuff. Do you have on this album alone, do you have a favorite song?
So I want to say, this may honestly be my new favorite Coheed song. Like,
okay, just number one,
just number
out of the whole discography.
See, and I'm a little hesitant to say that because like I don't know if it's just like
recency bias, maybe
the time period that I'm in, like it just fitting so well with what's going on in my personal life. But like Goodbye Sunshine is like, dude, I adore that song so much.
It's
like,
really fun.
I love it. It's amazing.
And I think coming out of the acoustic song that we start the album
immediately,
with, and it's in the same key and everything, you were just like launched right into it. I love it. It's so fun.
And just like the dichotomy of like the acoustic song ending with the lyrics, I don't want you to go. And then immediately, all right, goodbye. Like, all right, see ya. That's it. Like, it's just... It's so good. But yeah, that song just like melodically and lyrically, like it got me, man. Immediately. Like that was one of the songs that like, well, I mean, going back to, not usually latching on to anything, like pretty much all of these songs, I immediately was like, okay, yeah, this is a great song. And I felt like almost guilty for having doubt in the album to begin with.
Yeah.
like, I was just like, yeah, I should have known that they were going to pull. Like,
even with the box set, I think I asked you like, hey, you going to get the
and
box set? And you were like, nah.
I didn't. Yeah.
We'll see how the album does.
Yeah. Yeah. And now I'm probably not going to be able to. But, that's fine. Like, if I want to read the book, I may just borrow yours for a sec. But yeah, no, Goodbye Sunshine is definitely up there. And Corner My Confidence.
Yeah, that one's so good. There's I think it's just at the very end of the last song where it plays the huge orchestrated version of the song from the Afterman Dissension. Who will repair this broken... Is that I don't even know, maybe that's not even the lyrics.
Well,
it's like,
oh, did they?
Yeah, dude. Dude, we have to pause real quick so that Brandon can listen to this real quick. Is it not? Is that not nuts?
I'm a little mad that I didn't pick up on that.
Oh, dude,
because I love that section.
So many little moments where I'm like, it's the Afterman. Like it's referencing the Afterman so much, and that moment, because I know that if y'all don't see, mine's faded now. Yeah. But me and Brandon have kind of matching Coheed and Cambria tattoos. Of the two, Ascension and Descension, Ascension's my personal favorite, and I know Descension is yours.
Yeah.
So whenever the big orchestrated Predalethal started playing, I was like, oh man, Brandon must love this.
Dude, I don't know how I missed that. I like honestly, because I love that section too.
Yeah.
Like I love hearing that part. I didn't even like, so I think the thing is like whenever I was listening to it, so my car, it doesn't have like a CD player or anything.
Yeah.
So like I have everything on a USB stick.
Yeah.
And I bought all of the albums. So I just put it onto the USB and I would listen to it. And for some reason, my car just didn't have Predalethal on it. I don't know why, but I looked and it just wasn't there because it would go straight from subtraction into domino, and I was just like, okay, that's fine. Like I've never like.
It's not like it's definitely not my favorite. Song. But I think just how it all ties in conceptually and stuff too.
No, it's
and I think it's so brutal. It's just that song just goes so hard, and then you just translate that to an orchestra playing it,
dude,
and it's just so cool.
Like that's beautiful. I'm a little mad that I didn't
a whole new appreciation. For the song
for sure, and I love that song too.
Yeah,
and I caught the domino one at the beginning of Tethered Together.
Yes,
that one is a really good one. Yeah,
those last 4 songs, the like part 1, 2, 3, 4, it really feels like okay. Meanwhile, like now we're back into the story. Back to what we were. Yeah, your regularly scheduled, Coheed and Cambria album.
Yeah, because they take that break with. I feel like all of these ones, a lot of these songs are definitely a lot more ballady than previous albums.
Yeah,
like it's a lot more like
there is something kind of romantic about this whole album thematically, just like in the way that the instruments are. I don't know, all coming together. The way the lyrics, the story, everything is just kind of pretty here. I don't know. I like it a lot. And just tying back into what I was saying earlier, how you were saying everything just seems so hopeful. I don't know. It's really nice. And especially the way that this album ends with a huge orchestrated Predalethal, I'm like, all right, it's about to get dark again.
No, it's going to be so
It's going to be pretty crazy. But personally, right now, I'm thinking that I really like Play the Poet. Play the Poet. Because it comes right off the heels of the one that we were just talking about.
Blindside Sunny.
Blindside Sunny.
Yeah.
And kind of, it starts off even more kind of nasty. Like, I like it. And then it's, I think like 2.5 minutes to like 3 minutes into the song, I'll break your mind. Like,
I will say,
I love it so much.
Hearing Claudio Fry scream is not something that I would have expected to hear on the album, but it's really good.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it.
Big fan of it. Big fan. Overall, I know you've got like a lot of like sentimentality with the first album, The Unheavenly Creatures here. Do you think, maybe we already kind of touched on this, but are you thinking that maybe, how would you rank these 3 albums so far?
Man, I don't know. It's so hard. I still stand behind, I think the introduction to Unheavenly Creatures is like just one of the best album introductions ever. Like going from prologue straight into the Dark Censer, like it's so
very
good.
concept heavy. It's very like AC/DC, like, and it's sort of like stomping and shouting. It's just, I don't know, like, welcome to this world.
Dude, I love it. It's so fun. Good. And I do think like, what was the second? Window of the Waking Mind has some like really, really great songs on it that do things completely differently. Like A Disappearing Act. Yeah. Like I thought at first I was just like, this is so different. This is definitely a lot more prize fighter than it is Coheed. But like the more I listen to it, the more that I'm just like, this fucking is awesome.
It slaps for sure.
So I don't know. It's really hard because they all do different things so well.
Yep.
I think overall, I like the more of the songs on this album than I do on the other ones. But on some of the other albums, I like some of the songs more.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they limited the amount of songs that were on this album, because The Unheavenly Creatures has like 20 songs or something. Like
it's a lot.
There's so many songs on that album. So, I think that they do try to focus on having good quality music for all of their albums. But the sheer quantity of it does start to kind of bog the album down a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say in like overall, if I'm looking at all of these albums, all of them, I really, man, there are just some really cool things conceptually that album 2 does, especially like in that last song where it's just like going through all of these different styles of music.
I love that so much.
Like there's so much I like about that album, but I think album 2 is probably my least favorite.
Okay.
And then it's probably going to be Unheavenly Creatures. There's just a lot that I will skip on there, but the songs that I don't skip on there, I'm a big fan.
Are really good.
I'm a really big fan of those songs. And then I'm thinking that right now, dude, they've just evolved so much in production quality. I think their bassist and their drummer just I don't know, it was such a huge step up on their second album. Like they were really carrying that second album so much. And I think just the whole production value of this third album has been wonderful. I think it's my favorite one. And it's hard for me it's easy, I think, to compare these three albums to one another, but I don't know. I don't even want to compare it to like previous stuff. It's just so different. I love all of those other albums for way different reasons than I love these three albums, but all in all, it's all Coheed and it's all awesome.
I love absolutely. It so much. No, and I totally agree with that ranking. I think I like a lot more of these songs. Like I don't skip nearly as many songs on this one as I did on Unheavenly Creatures. The second one, I feel like I was skipping a lot of songs. And then some, but the songs that I didn't skip, I absolutely adored. Right. Like,
like once you get to like Ladders of Supremacy and stuff, that's whenever I start feeling like, oh, finally, like we're getting to like some good Coheed and Cambria stuff. But it's filled with like a couple of different, not that this third album doesn't have like some kind of dance numbers, you know, like there's some kind of like pop songs that are kind of designed to just kind of get up and move. And I felt like that was kind of the direction that their second album in this trilogy so far, what they were trying to do. I don't know if it's just trying to get on the radio or something like that, but they had some songs that are, I don't know, definitely less of what I really liked about Coheed and Cambria in previous albums as well as Unheavenly Creatures. So that second album just kind of sits low on me up until we get to the part where I'm like, oh yeah, finally Coheed and Cambria, let's go. But yeah, this album has been really good. Other than these three albums, just to kind of get a taste for what your personal taste is in regards to Coheed as a whole. What is your favorite Coheed and Cambria album outside of the Vaxis?
Outside of these, overall, I think. Well, I mean, Dissension is up there. Okay. Well, actually, I'm just going to put them together. Ascension and Descension are like
just the Afterman is.
They're so good. I'm gonna put that pretty high on the list. If not that, I mean, again, Color Before the Sun, I really enjoy. Wow. Yeah.
I think those are fairly unconventional.
I know. Yeah.
Coheed fan picks.
It's not a popular.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not a popular take.
But they're not bad albums.
No. Yeah. I mean, I love them. Yeah. If I'm going like top three, what is it called?
No Love for Tomorrow.
No.
Oh, no?
It's no, that would be their next unconventional pick.
I thought I was maybe Color or Year of the Black Rainbow.
No, it's In Keeping Secrets.
Okay. Yeah.
I really enjoy that one.
Yeah. I think no matter who you ask, that one's always
going
to be a top three or something.
Yeah. It's just you can't not love it. Yeah.
It's a good.
It's so classic. It's a good one.
I personally keep in mind, everyone, I'm 25 years old. I think when I say this, I'm in lots of like Coheed and Cambria, whatever, Facebook groups, Reddit threads or whatever. And I see a lot of people have the same sentiment of like, oh, that's an old guy take. That's an old head take, right? Oh, that's your favorite album? That's an old guy take. Like get with the new, right? And same thing with like video games and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, you like Final Fantasy 4 and 6 and 7? What an old guy take, you know? Like, get with the new stuff. Final Fantasy 15 is where it's at or something. My favorite one, and I say this is my favorite because I never skip a single song on this album. I listen to every single one of them, and I'm like moving to it like the whole time. I just love it so much. And it is the Second Stage Turbine Blade.
Okay.
Their debut album, I think is so freaking good. I love it so much. I don't know. There's just so much there. All of their big singles, their big hitters are so wonderful. Like Jersey and Devil City and stuff like that. What is it? 33. I'm blanking on the other one right now. The one that's like starts off with the bass line that's like do 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 do. Anyway, if you're listening out there, you know the one.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name. I wish I could have all of them lined up in front of me right now, but I don't. But anyway, every single song on that album is just freaking hits.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think the main thing for me is like I just don't skip a single song on that album. And there are some like the June song provision. Everything on that album is just so good. I love all of it. But anyways, I don't know. Do you have any other sort of closing thoughts on Coheed or maybe this third Vaxis album?
It's good.
It's good.
It's a great album.
Pump for the fourth one already.
I know.
Give me the next thing. I love it.
They need. Well, I mean, I don't want it to end. But
Like it's like I want to marinate.
Yeah.
but also I can't wait for the next thing.
So they just need to come out with 4 more pentologies, and I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that they would announce this 5 album series so long ago, because it makes me think, is this how you're ending it? Please don't end it. But also, maybe should they?
And that's
because then you have something like Metallica where they play until they die,
right?
And they put out just crap, And I don't want that. I don't want that for Coheed and Cambria.
I don't want it either. But I also don't want their music to stop.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because like they're all still so like into what they're doing. Like I mean, Claudio is still working hard on the what's it called, prize fighter stuff.
Yeah.
And Coheed. Travis just started LS Dunes.
LS Dunes has been such an interesting project.
Yeah.
I would if I get a chance to see them.
Yeah.
I want to. I really want to.
Yeah. I had one opportunity where they were playing at a festival that I was going to, or that I was going to go to, and then I ended up not being able.
Was
to
that
go
the
to
When
that
We Were
festival.
Young tour?
No, it was Sad Summerfest.
Okay.
Is
it here in Austin? Or? Okay.
It was at Coda.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was so sad that I didn't get to go.
Squandered opportunity.
But I know. I bought the ticket and everything.
Yeah.
I just couldn't I had gotten into a car accident, so I had no way to get there. Yeah.
Excuses.
Yeah, excuses, honestly.
Walk there, bro.
Yeah, I should have. I think they're still going strong. I think
and I think even he's obviously, other than just the music side of stuff, there's so many other things that I know are planned to be adapted into a physical media, like a comic book or like a novel or something like that. And then of course we still have at least the other 2 albums of the series.
Yeah.
And then who knows? I mean, that could be, if we are judging it based on the gaps of time between other albums, that could be anywhere between we could have album number 5 within the next 6 years or the next 12 years, But I did hear a while ago that there were talks and ideas to make a movie out of Emory War stuff.
that would be cool.
That'd be very interesting. It's like, there's something about Coheed and Cambria that makes me think that they're really, really niche, but I also know so many people who know and like Coheed and Cambria. So I think, would an Emory Wars movie even do well? But then I think probably, I feel like a lot of people, if it's advertised as the Coheed and Cambria movie, everyone from the early 2000s will come out of the woods.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. But even still, I feel like it's a good enough story that even if you don't know Coheed and Cambria, you can, I feel like it's just a good story. It's
cool. So everyone, if you have not listened to Coheed and Cambria, if you have not checked out the, just this new album that they have put out, I highly recommend everyone go out and just start listening to Coheed and Cambria. Like I kind of said in the beginning of this episode, there are many different things that are drawing fans to their music, and a lot of it is this concept album. So if you are interested in maybe that idea, maybe you haven't really seen that played out before. Not a whole lot of bands do this sort of stuff. It exists, like Deer Hunter and things like that. There are people, even Pink Floyd, The Wall, all of that is just concept album type stuff. So if this is something that is attractive to you and you want this kind of shared universe of music that is focusing on different characters and different planets and things like that, and interdimensional travel. It's very Star Wars inspired. I feel like a lot of it's kind of Marvel-y inspired too. Yeah. It's just a really interesting time. So if you haven't already checked out Coheed and Cambria, go listen to their whole discography and then come watch this podcast. I really hope that you check out Vaxis Act 3. Father of Make Believe?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the title track of this album too is also just so good. Father of Make Believe.
Yeah,
great stuff. Great stuff. But Brandon,
Gavin,
thank you for coming on to my podcast today.
Thanks for having me, man.
So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.